An historic day today in the GM ignition switch recall scandal. Today, GM CEO Mary Barra spoke with reporters and employees about the crisis. She also let everyone know that 15 people were fired because of their role in the ignition switch recall. Also, the documents and findings from the Volucas internal investigation were released.
And tonight, 7 Action News is uncovering more details about the ignition switch recall and more about that 325-page report released today. Our team coverage begins tonight with Anu Prakash live outside of GM headquarters. Anu, what did Mary Barra say today?
Well, Jeff, Mary Barra said that there was a history of problems that led to all of this big issue, and she says, bottom line, no one took responsibility to fix it.
This report is extremely thorough, brutally tough, and deeply troubling.
GM CEO Mary Barra says she is deeply saddened and disturbed by the findings of the internal investigation into faulty ignition switches that are linked to 13 deaths. Speaking to GM employees today in a town hall meeting broadcast around the world, Barra said the company failed.
We simply didn't do our job. We failed these customers, and we must face up to it, and we must learn from it.
Former U.S. Attorney Anton Volucas conducted the investigation, which involved reviewing more than 41 million documents. There were more than 350 interviews of current and former employees and third parties. The conclusion? There was a pattern of incompetence and neglect. For 11 years, the ignition switch problem was ignored, and that delayed the recall of more than 2.5 million cars, which resulted in deadly consequences.
Repeatedly, individuals failed to disclose critical pieces of information. The ignition switch issue was touched by numerous parties at GM, engineers, investigators, and lawyers, but no one raised the issues to the highest level of the company.
Barra says GM has fired 15 employees. More than half were at the executive level or higher. 5 others were disciplined. Among the other critical changes at GM, naming a vice president of safety, adding 35 safety investigators. The company has started a Speak Up for Safety program so employees can report safety issues, and senior management will now be at the center of safety decision-making processes. Barra says GM is implementing a compensation program for those who lost loved ones or were injured. She promised the company will do the right thing moving forward, but vowed not to forget the mistakes.
I want to keep this painful experience permanently in our collective memories. I don't want to forget what happened because I, and I know you, never want this to happen again.
Now, Barry Barra says that GM will start accepting claims for that compensation program starting August 1st. No word yet, though, on how much money will be involved. Live in downtown Detroit, Anu Prakash, 7 Action News.